This is the final episode of saving Odette, the little 20-inch yard machines mower that had been in a fire, which is what I discovered last time. So I've replaced the damaged tank that had burned so much that it was leaking. I've also replaced the carburetor. I wanted to check the spark plug because a lot of times people who work on these mowers before I get them do strange things to them. They put the wrong plugs in them, and that is what happened in this case. This is the spark plug that I pulled out of this mower. It's a Champion CJ8, which is way too small. And this is how you know that. This is the spark plug that is supposed to go in this mower. And in fact, this spark plug is so common to these Briggs & Stratton engines that have this sort of almost triangular shape. This is OHV for overhead valve. If it has that on the front, it's going to take this spark plug, and this is on this little inexpensive Briggs & Stratton yard machines mower. And then I've got mowers over here that I work on, $500 Toros, and it's essentially the same spark plug because it's the same type of engine. And it's an overhead valve engine, and just so you know, that's what it takes. It's an RC 12YC. I use a lot of these. That's my container of them, okay? Now, if you want to buy them new, what I recommend you do is you go to Walmart and you buy this. This is the equivalent of the Champion RC 12YC, and that's the best price I have found on spark plugs for these overhead valve Briggs & Stratton engines. And if you look closely at it, it says it replaces the first line item at the top, Champion RC 12YC. And so what you're buying is an Autolite 3924, and that is equivalent to the Champion RC 12YC. And these are very good spark plugs, and that is what I installed in this little lawnmower. So I believe, and so if you work on mowers, always check to see what kind of spark plug previous owners have put in them. So I believe this mower is ready to test. So we're going to walk it out to the proving grounds and give it a try. I've raised the front to where it's going to cut about 3 to 3.5 inches, and then it's going to cut the grass as it goes back. And the last cut on this, if you look at the deck and use the measurement, it's going to be about 2 to 2.5 inches. So that's where I've got it set. This mower had been full of oil, way overfilled, and so I did drain that out by tipping it on its side and showed you guys how to do that. The blade on here is a flat blade, brand new. So let's walk this thing out and see how it does. When I was taking this apart to inspect it and everything, I could tell that it had been in a fire. And unless there's a bunch of damage, sometimes it's just external stuff gets burned up and you can replace it. And that's what I did here. The tank was burned bad enough to where it leaked. So I replaced it with one of mine. Let me get one of my clamps here. So I bought this mower with 3 others that this fellow had sold as parts mowers, and so they'd been in somebody's yard for a while that they'd used and borrowed parts off of, and so there were things missing and the wrong plugs. They'd been in fires, that kind of stuff. So I get all kinds of mowers. But Briggs and Stratton are very tough, and I don't give up on them until it's hopeless. So we're going to find out if this one's going to run. If you've been watching my videos, you know where I'm headed. The trampoline that blew across the 2 fences and ended up in the pasture over here has been moved back into the guy's yard, so it's gone now. Let me get this tripod set up here. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. So let's see what's going to happen here. So I'm going to push the primer bulb about 3 times. Give it a go. Okay, so after being in a fire, that's how little Odette is doing. Running pretty good. All right, stay tuned. I'm not sure what the name of the next video will be, but it'll be on the Briggs and Stratton.